More than 80,000 motorists face arrest warrants as the government steps up traffic ticket enforcement.
Feel that they can get away with the wrongdoing and the indiscipline, I beg you, cut it out. Your days are numbered. Those warrants will be served. And unfortunately, many of you will occupy St. Catherine District Prison for a while. So I beg you, please, firstly, cut out the indiscipline. But after that, if you are fined, don't feel you can get away. Make sure you pay up your fine. Not that we want the fines, but we have to send a signal that when you disobey the law or disobey the road code, there is a penalty.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has announced that the government is preparing to execute more than 80,000 arrest warrants against motorists who have failed to settle outstanding traffic ticket matters, signaling a major escalation in Jamaica's campaign to improve compliance with the Road Traffic Act and strengthen accountability on the nation's roads. The announcement comes as authorities continue to express concern about the large backlog of unresolved ticket offences and the impact that widespread non-compliance has had on the justice system. The Justice Minister stressed that the initiative is not intended simply to punish motorists, but to reinforce respect for the country's traffic laws. He argued that for too long, many drivers have treated traffic tickets as optional, allowing unpaid fines and unresolved offences to accumulate over several years. According to Chuck, such behavior undermines the rule of law and contributes to a culture of impunity on Jamaica's roads. The latest announcement follows months of government efforts to reduce the long-standing backlog of traffic cases. Earlier this year, authorities organized special traffic ticket settlement days, allowing motorists to resolve outstanding matters through simplified administrative procedures. Those initiatives attracted thousands of motorists seeking to clear their records before the stricter enforcement measures took effect. Government officials have repeatedly stated that the settlement program was designed to provide motorists with a fair opportunity to become compliant before the execution of outstanding warrants intensified. With that grace period now largely concluded, the focus is shifted from voluntary compliance to active enforcement. The government believes that clearing the backlog of traffic offences will deliver several important benefits. Officials argue that prompt enforcement encourages safer driving habits, improves respect for traffic regulations, and reduces pressure on Jamaica's already burdened court system. They also contend that motorists who consistently ignore traffic laws create unnecessary risk for responsible road users and pedestrians. Road safety advocates have long argued that stronger enforcement is necessary to combat dangerous driving behaviors, including speeding, reckless overtaking, driving without valid licenses, and failure to comply with traffic signals. Jamaica has continued to experience a high number of fatal crashes and serious road collisions in recent years, prompting repeated calls for tougher enforcement alongside greater public education. The Road Traffic Act introduced a modernized legal framework governing driving offences, vehicle registration, licenses requirements, and penalties. Government officials have maintained that the legislation can only achieve its intended objectives if motorists comply with court orders and satisfy penalties imposed for traffic violations. Police are expected to play a central role in executing the outstanding warrants. Motorists with unresolved matters could be arrested during routine traffic stops, targeted operations, or other encounters with law enforcement. Legal experts note that once a warrant has been issued, officers have the authority to detain the individual and bring them before the court to answer the outstanding charges.
The IT has consistently advised that accumulated points can lead to suspension depending on the severity and frequency of the offences. Again, I therefore urge all motorists, transport operators, both private and public, and in general road users to act now, settle outstanding matters, become compliant, obey the rules.
Authorities are therefore encouraging motorists to verify whether they have unresolved traffic matters and where possible make arrangements through the relevant court or the traffic ticket management system before enforcement action reaches them. Officials say taking proactive steps could help individuals avoid the inconvenience and potential embarrassment of being arrested under an outstanding warrant. The announcement is likely to generate mixed public reaction. Supporters argue that the move is necessary to restore confidence in Jamaica's justice system and ensure that the law applies equally to all motorists. They contend that responsible drivers should not be disadvantaged while thousands of offenders continue to ignore legal obligations without consequence. However, some observers may question whether law enforcement agencies possess sufficient resources to execute such a large number of warrants within a reasonable time frame. Others may call for continued public awareness campaigns to ensure motorists clearly understand their legal obligations and the procedures available for resolving outstanding traffic matters before arrest occur. For the government, the initiative represents another step in its broader program of justice reform and improved enforcement. Minister Chuck has maintained that respect for the law begins with compliance, and he has urged motorists not to wait until police arrive at their door or stop them on the road before addressing outstanding traffic ticket matters. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and never miss the stories that matter most. Jamaica News Now, your Highlands, your news, right now.